So if you're a founder, a builder, a leader of any kind, really, there's this question about AI that's kind of hanging in the air, and we can't ignore it. It really gets to the very heart of what it means to lead right now, today. Just take a second and really think about that. Your team, the very people you hired for their incredible skills, they're suddenly using these new technologies that are moving so fast, it can feel almost impossible to keep up. How are you supposed to guide the ship if you don't even fully grasp how the engine works anymore? And look, this isn't some abstract, far-off future problem. It is happening right this second. The pace of change with AI is it's breathtaking. The tools are getting more powerful, they're way more accessible, and they're landing in the hands of basically everyone on your team. And that creates this really fascinating, and let's be honest, a pretty uncomfortable new dynamic for anyone in a leadership position. Yeah, this is really the heart of it, isn't it? You hired these people to be amazing, to do great work. But what happens when their new tools, their AI co-pilots, make them faster, even faster than you? What does that mean for your leadership when you're suddenly not the go-to expert in the room? You know, it is totally okay to admit that this feels scary. So much of a leader's identity, maybe your identity, is wrapped up in knowing how things work, in having the answers. Just acknowledging that discomfort, well, that's the very first step to moving right past it. So, what's the move? What's the answer here? It really comes down to this pivotal internal shift, this idea of the great letting go. To lead your team into what's next, you have to be willing to let go of how you've always defined your role in the past. And the contrast couldn't be more clear. The old way of leading, it was all about being the smartest operator in the room. You know, the one with the most experience, the one who knew how all the pieces fit together. But the new way, it's about being the best learner. Your value completely shifts. It's no longer about knowing everything. It's about creating an environment where you can learn from people who are, frankly, now better at certain things than you are, and that's a good thing. This right here, this is the core mindset. It's that simple and that profound. Real growth for you and for your company means letting go. Letting go of the need to do everything yourself. Letting go of the ego that says you have to be the expert. And letting go of the comfort of being the smartest operator. So what fills that void? What replaces that old model? It's a new philosophy for a completely new era. Leading by learning. Now, this isn't about giving up your responsibility. Not at all. It's about redefining it. Your value isn't just in what you already know, but in your ability to build a place where everyone, and that includes you, is constantly learning. So what does that actually look like day to day? Well, your job description kind of changes. It shifts from just giving directions to asking really insightful questions. It goes from having all the answers to just staying deeply curious. And maybe the most important part, creating a culture where it's not just okay, but it's expected that your team will teach you things. You have to be open to learning even when it's messy and you don't get it right the first time. And let's be real for a second. This whole process, it can feel humbling. It takes a good dose of humility to admit you don't know something and to actually learn from your team. But you know what's on the flip side of that humility? Freedom. It's incredibly freeing. Suddenly, that immense pressure to know everything is just gone, and you're free to focus on the big picture, on guiding the team's curiosity and passion. This is not a wait-and-see kind of deal. There's a real urgency here. People are learning and building with these new tools every single day. If you decide to just wait on the sidelines for too long, that gap between what you know and what they know might become too wide to ever bridge. The time to start your learning journey, it's now. And starting doesn't have to be this big, intimidating thing. Seriously, watch some YouTube videos, download a few tools. I mean, a lot of them are like $20 a month. Talk to your team. Just ask them, hey, what are you excited about? What are you experimenting with? And most importantly, give yourself permission to just play, to experiment, to break stuff. Because failure, that's just another word for learning. And here's the most crucial takeaway. You don't have to become some master coder or an AI expert overnight. Nobody expects you to know it all. But what you do have to do is show a genuine, honest-to-God willingness to learn. Your team just needs to see that you're in it with them, that you're curious, and that you're engaged. So in the end, it really just boils down to a simple choice. The future of work, it's already here, and it's completely rewriting the rules of leadership. You can either embrace this new reality and choose to lead by learning, or you can risk getting left behind by your team and by your competitors who are already doing this. The choice is yours.